So this has to do with again continuing the part about reps, how one builds out reps to get the preparation that you need for whatever the calling is on your life, whatever God is calling you to step up as a man, as a kingdom man, right? So I'll never forget, I was in middle school, and those who know me, I've always been pretty good at a lot of things, not necessarily excellent in any one thing. And so I was an athlete, singer, was really good with school, got honor roll, right? And so one thing that boosted my confidence, because I was always interested in sports, was making my middle school basketball team. I'll never forget, I was in seventh grade, went to Andrew Hamilton, which is in West Philly, 57th and Spruce. And made the team. I felt like pretty good. Like that was a nice little bump for me. And the coach was our gym teacher, Mr. Brown. And this dude was a real stout, kind of somewhat stocky Caucasian gentleman. He was maybe about 5'6", so he really wasn't that much taller than like a lot of the students. He might have been taller than the center. But otherwise, but he was, he gym teacher, like stereotypical gym teacher, wore the collared shirt with the I don't understand that collared shirt, sweatpants. Okay. And so one of the first practices, I'll never forget, he wanted to make sure, because this is a white teacher teaching predominantly black students, right? And so one of the things he wanted to really drill home was this idea of fundamentals. So I'll never forget, one of the first practices we did, he literally taught us the layup. And we were he had us like stand around in a circle and watch him throw up a layup. This 5'5", 5'6" dude going up, and he would show us how to, scoop the shot. And a layup, for those of y'all who don't know, is the easiest way to score in a game of basketball. You literally scoop the ball up, against the backboard. You can either do it with one hand. And then the really funny part was when he tried to do a push shot. So you get more control if you use two hands. He did the push shot. And everybody's just sitting here like laughing, like we don't have no time for this. Like we know how to cross people over, do all that other stuff. And we ain't got time to learn about no doggone layup. But he did it, and he wanted us to practice that as a fundamental. So one of the things he had us do is he divided up the team on to both sides of the court. So each, like half of the team was on one basket and the other on the other basket. And then each of those two groups was split up into two lines. So we were doing a layup drill in line. So meaning one side of the line, their job, if the person who was up front would go take a layup, the fundamental way that he showed us, and then whoever was in the front of the other line would get the rebound and then pass the ball to the next person so they could take the shot. So about maybe 3 to 5 minutes in, it's pitch quiet, but we're all doing our layups. And then, Mr. Brown is standing in the middle. He's kind of like overseeing everything. He's got his like nice clothes on and everything. And then all of a sudden in the middle of it, you just hear whistle goes off, right? Everybody stop. And I had just gone. I was like, oh man, I hope like he's not about to embarrass me. Like this white dude already like is kind of embarrassing just to be around. So he did it, and he stopped me. He said, all right, everybody, I want you to pay attention to something. Now, let's all look at, and the worst thing that you can say to a middle school is to call their name out. Let's all look at John Price. And he said, John, I want you to do that one more time. So I didn't know what he wanted. I had no idea. But what happened was when he showed me, I was able to lock in. Like I'm a visual learner. So I was watching him, and I kind of was able to break down his steps, how he did the whole thing. So I did it. I did exactly what I didn't do anything different. I went up and took the layup and had somebody in on the other side. And then when it was my turn, what happened was I did this. I was in the rebound line. When the other person did the layup, I caught it and I boxed out. That little extra step, I boxed out because it was part of the fundamental. And what he said was, that's how you're supposed to do it. So you guys are just running around here doing layups and trying to freestyle and do all this other stuff. You aren't even doing what you're supposed to do. So from then on, he said, now we're going to do it the John Price way. He said, for the rest of your, while you're on this team, you're going to do this layup the John Price. I'll never forget this big old boost in my confidence, right, when he said that. And so for the rest of the practice, literally everybody would start to do it, and they did it with the box out. So I got to have this teaching experience for the rest of the group because I had perfected the fundamental of the layup. So here's what I want you guys to walk away with is when it comes to understanding and getting the reps that you need to develop as a man and to do what God is calling you to do, you want to think about trying to ask God for some layups. Ask God for layups. Layup, it tends to be and I wrote this down too, because I wanted to make sure I really drilled this point home. Asking God for layups can be the best way to, number one, practice the fundamentals. Two, make progress toward the bigger goal, right? That's the easiest way to contribute to a team, even in pros. In the pro, you see the professionals, a lot of times when they're like their shooting is off or whatever, they're just like, ah man, suddenly they get a fast break layup and all of a sudden they locking up on defense, right? They're able to contribute to the team and make more progress because they got a layup in. And a layup is the easiest way, thirdly, to get a small, easy win, right? The small, easy win you can get in is a good way to get that practice in. So here's a current example. This is what it looks like for me. And this is why I want to turn this over to the group for group discussion. I knew, earlier in my relationship with my wife, I was terrible at being her other centered, at being her centered. So I had this bad habit of thinking, like, when she would interrupt me, I was in the middle of something, like whatever it was, I was in the middle of something, and then she would like interrupt, and I would do the whole like, what do you want, like, don't you, like, and hold my phone in a certain way so she could see like I'm on the phone, like, what do you want, type of thing. And God was just showing me, like, if you really want this to work, you want the relationship to the next level. And Dr. Jones, I understand if you need to get a move on. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you, and God bless. All right. Shalom. And so I knew that if I wanted to take that relationship to where it needed to go, I was going to have to start, like, in the smallest of ways. When she would come up, I start doing this now. I start going, yes, babe, and like literally just start locking in. And okay, all right, cool. And I don't even like give this no attention. I just kind of put it down. And that's my way of practicing a layup. That's my way of doing a fundamental. That's my way of taking a nice, easy win, because it's something, it's right there. You just practice it, you lock it down. It's a fundamental, and that's building up the necessary reps so that when I say I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level, and I want to be, this patriarch and this leader in the home and this priest, like, I've been practicing that. I've been changing up my habits. So I want to, for the good of the group, just kind of open, and we don't have that much time, but just give me a sense of in what area of life do you need more reps, and what's a nice little small easy win relative to the thing that you believe God is calling you to. That just practice that. That might actually change the game for you.